Bitcoin is right now creating a golden cross and you need to see this. So I will be exactly discuss what is currently happening here for Bitcoin. I will talk about this gigantic move that is just getting started, because if we're looking at history, this move could get way more wild. So make sure to watch this video till the end. I'm gonna exactly explain about all the things that currently are going on and many more important charts. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap up that like button on today's update video and let me jump straight away in. And yes guys, once looking at the imminent short term for Bitcoin, yesterday we once again exactly hit my resistance box, and that was the point where Bitcoin got rejected from. And this is also what I yesterday said on Twitter. I mean, honestly, Bitcoin, it could be moving up here, and indeed it was breaking out of the symmetrical triangle, but really the point where Bitcoin needs to be breaking above of is this horizontal resistance range here, because I personally think that this box right here is the liquidity box, and this is the point where Bitcoin is probably going to see the majority of the rejections. And if we can confirm that break above this level, then I will be expecting, yes, Bitcoin is probably gonna go much higher. But since it was weekend also, over the course of the last weekend, I did not exactly trade at this breakout right here. Potentially, we do right now have an opportunity to be trading the upper sloping support line, or potentially in the near future, the downward sloping resist line. Anyways, Bitcoin was trading over the course of a weekend. So Bitcoin created another CME gap. And honestly, over the last weekend, we also created the CME gap. And if you waited for that CME gap, you got absolutely wrecked. And that is why I always say you should never 100% anticipate the CME gaps, and you should never wait to be accumulating Bitcoin for such kind of a CME gap, because that is how the majority of the people get fooled, and that is also how some friends of mine literally missed out of buying Bitcoin around 9,000 US dollars. So right now, Bitcoin is creating another CME gap. Likely it's going to get filled up here, but it's not 100% sure. But if we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, the CME close price is around 34.1k, so it is very possible that we're going to go down there, but I'm not 100% convinced that it necessarily has to be happening. But just be on high alert, we are currently creating one. And then at the same time, the 200-day and the 50-day moving average are currently crossing again here, what means that we're currently creating a bull cross, a golden cross better said. And this is historically an indication that better times are coming, and this is also an indication that the market is once again reversing back towards the upside. We literally saw it, of course, happening over here. That was also the beginning of that move towards the upside. Here we had a death cross, and actually Bitcoin only moved up after the death cross, what is quite ironic in my opinion. But honestly, if we're going to be looking at these crosses, these are super lagging indicators, and all they are telling is basically what has already happened. I mean, here we had a death cross, and this was actually indicating some gigantic lag towards the downside. Here as well, we had a death cross. Bitcoin didn't necessarily move much towards the downside, but these are lagging indicators. So indeed, we are having a golden cross right now here, but in the end of the day, it is not necessarily meaning so much. Maybe in hindsight, it meant a lot here, but honestly, I should take this with a grain of salt. Then quickly looking at this region between $29,000 and $36,000, you can see that the majority of the liquidations are actually not laying below us anymore, but actually above us, what is quite interesting in my opinion. There are a lot of liquidations laying around 35.5k here, so a lot of people are actually shorting this move here. And honestly, I am still very much convinced that we can be moving up, and my upwards targets, I'm gonna talk about it in a second from now on, so make sure to stick in the stream, because I've got some insane targets that I'm going to be aiming for, and I'm going to reveal them all in this video. So if you want to be trading Bitcoin on a breakout or a breakdown, or basically on this massive move towards the upside, and I know a lot of my followers did, so yeah, congratulations for everyone who took this trade towards the upside. And if you want to claim a free trade worth 1,000 US dollars, you can do so right now here. All you need to do here is sign up the account using that link below. Deposit $100 within 7 days, complete KYC, and you can claim that insane deposit bonus up to 1,000 US dollars. What is absolutely insane in my opinion. But let me right now talk about what currently is going on with Bitcoin, because on the weekly time frame, Bitcoin is about to get overbought again here. And what does it mean? Overbought is basically an indication on the RSI that the relative strength index is extremely strong and that we are in overbought territorium. But it's not necessarily bad to be in that territorium, because every single time Bitcoin is in that stage, it usually stays there for a little bit longer, and it is giving an indication that there is a lot of FOMO, or a lot of interest in the market. And we are about to be going overbought for the first time in approximately, 938 days, what is of course the beginning of the bull market, what is absolutely insane if you would ask me here. So Bitcoin really bouncing back here, and I mean, you saw it in the last boom, the bull market of 2017, you saw it in the previous bull market, but you saw also a small little spike in the previous bear market recovery phase. Are we right now now in this phase, it looks to be that we're in somewhat of such kind of a stage. So interesting times ahead here in my opinion, but of course Bitcoin is mainly moving up here due to the anticipation of the Bitcoin spot ETF that is probably going to hit the market in the coming 70 days, so make sure to get ready for that as well. At the same time, Bitcoin is creating this massive cup and handle pattern, right? Breaking outside of it, breaking above this region, and I've said this several times before, guys, we are literally right now breaking in towards the bull market region. Bitcoin broke outside of this 500-day consolidation phase below us, 550-day consolidation phase below us, and right now is moving back in towards the bullish region. So if Bitcoin were to be having a retest of this level right here, guys, that would definitely mean a gigantic opportunity for everyone out there in the market. And if I would see a retest on that level, I personally would take it with both hands here. So I'm looking forward towards seeing that potential retest hit the market. Then at the same time, 36.5k is going to be the main resistance for me to be looking at, and the main support is of course going to be this massive horizontal line that I just talked about, and that's going to be 31.7k. So if Bitcoin were to be moving up here, if Bitcoin were to be breaking above this level right here, I think 36.5k is the level to look at. Why? Is because this is literally the region low on the weekly time frame, and yeah, in the past it provided support. So I can guarantee you, of course I can't guarantee anything in the market, but what I am looking for is 36.5k is going to be a massive point where Bitcoin is going to have a rejection. I mean, once we had this move towards the upside right here, I also exactly called 31 to 31.5k was the resistance point. And I mean, calling these resistances is not so hard, but you have to understand the game. You have to look through the order books. You have to look at these important levels, and I've done it all. So that is why I will be looking at 36.5k as the main resistance. And personally, I don't think we're going to break through it straight away. But if we really break through 36.5k straight away, it may sound a little bit ridiculous, but the next target is going to be $43,000, what is of course even more up. So that's what I will be looking at right now on the EM in the short term. At the same time on the BLX, so all the charts combined here, the volume is still dropping on Bitcoin, what is quite interesting. I've already seen it here on on-chain metrics, that Bitcoin volume and interest is not necessarily rising while the price is here. So it's definitely the smart money that's currently accumulating. So that's definitely a very interesting take in my opinion here. The people that were already interested in crypto are actually right now the ones that are buying, not the newbies that are coming in the market right now here. So following that, the ETF could even create more buying pressure in my opinion. But what is interesting, the volume remains to be dropping. So there is still a big move lying ahead of ourselves. And Bitcoin is moving up with relatively low volume, what basically means that the reason why Bitcoin is also really moving up right now here is that there are not a lot of sell orders in the market. And if nobody is willing to sell his Bitcoins for $35,000, what it looks to be right now here, since we're already trading above this level for more than 6 days, if I say correctly, yeah, more than 6 days, it could basically go higher, because if no one is willing to sell, Bitcoin is just gonna go higher. And you can see it clearly in the Bitcoin dominance as well. So money from altcoins is starting to move back to Bitcoin. So exactly like we've been predicting. So personally, I think the shift from the Bitcoin to altcoins is probably going to happen once Bitcoin breaks its all-time high here. And probably we're going to see like a few dumps here in the Bitcoin dominance and a few moves for altcoins before that happens. But the big move and the big reversal, what I'm talking about, like these kinds of moves here in the Bitcoin dominance, I think it's going to happen once Bitcoin breaks its all-time high, because it happened also in the last time and it happened in the last two bull runs. So I won't be surprised if that is going to be happening again here. So I will be looking out for that. This was it for me in today's update video, guys. Make sure to share this video with your friends, because honestly, I think a lot of people could learn from these videos about what currently is going on with Bitcoin. And of course, once these ETFs hit the market, I'm going to explain it all on Twitter and YouTube. So make sure to follow me right now here, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.